Well, hello everyone. It's Rob from Into the Music, and welcome to the Drop Date Deli. We've got a twofer special today because we've got two new tracks from the Timothy Paul Band. And with me from New Hampshire, I've got Timothy Paul Donovan, guitarist John Clarke, and vocalist Karen Girard. How are you all today? If I can get that out.
Awesome.
Very good.
100%. And thanks for having us, Rob.
Absolutely. Great tracks. There's one that's dropping today, and that's called Traveling Heart. And you've got one coming out in a little bit. When is No Introduction coming out?
That's a corporate secret right now. So
Okay.
we don't
Okay. All right. Well, you can tell me off camera, and
Sure.
then you can slay me later. So
Sure. Let's let Traveling Heart do its work.
right.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, congratulations on that. It's a great track. I mean, it's a straight up rocker that I really dug. I mean, and Karen, your vocal on that is spot on.
Thank you, Rob.
Absolutely. Tim, is this kind of a departure for you and the Timothy Paul Band to do something more straight ahead rock like this?
Yes and no. I'm going to say from the day that this whole project started, and of course, that young lady down at the bottom of the screen was there from the very beginning. And then she went on her way, and now she's back, and that's a beautiful thing. And look what we've created since she's been back. But I always said that there could be 25 or 30 people go through this project in the course of its life.
Mm-hmm.
So far, that's worked, and I think we're at that stage right now where I personally think this is the best version of the Timothy Paul Band. But it's all about the people who you play with. It's all about the musicians and their craft and how they approach it. And I played with young and old and mid-age and everybody else, and some of the best musicians in Boston. And I know Johnny has it from New York because he's from New York. And so we and Karen too. We've all been at that place over the years. Where you're on the big stage, this close to a record deal, that close, and so on and so forth. Now it's all just strictly for the music, and there's no egos, there's no rules, and it's just you bring your talent to the table.
Right. Now, I had you, Tim, and you, Karen, on the show earlier this year. And so as kind of a refresher for those that are watching, and welcome to everybody that is watching and participating, please drop your comments and questions in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know you're out there. But remind us who you are, what you do in the band, and we're going to welcome John for the first time into the music. So, Tim, go ahead.
It's like I had just said. This project's been going on since 2024, 2025, and it's had changes. And I'm just glad that at this stage of the game, still being able to create music and play music. And of course, Johnny and we do a show every Sunday down in the middle of the state in New Hampshire, and we have a blast. That's where we met, and it's been a great relationship ever since. And I just think the project, and this is just my opinion, the project is at that stage now where you can't let it go. It's just that good, and
Right.
Keep working on it every single day. We got some more stuff too, not just Traveling Heart, not just No Introduction, but we're working on other material too. So it's been pretty good, and it's taken a step up, and its quality and its artist contributions. It's just been great. It really has been. So
Yeah,
no complaints
John,
here.
why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Who's that, me now?
Is
Yes.
that John?
John, yes.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Is this known?
He does this all the time.
I know it is. Yeah, I'm terrible at these things. You think after about 250 of them, I would have gotten some sort of knack, but no, I'm only kidding. Myself, let me say, in a New Yorker, and playing with bands since I'm 11 years old, and We chased record contracts a couple of times. Long story short, I'm at the stage right now where the music never left me, thank goodness. And I'm at the stage right now where instead of chasing brass rings, and I think I can, with my compadres here, we realize the reward is in the effort, and that the goals will be achieved as they're achieved.
Mhm.
But we're just enjoying the effort too much to concentrate totally on the brass ring. We're just in it for the love of the music, and what happens happens. As far as myself goes, like I said, I've been playing since 11 years old, and I should be way, way better than I am, but I'm at where I'm at, and I'm grateful for that. That's about it. I moved to New Hampshire approximately 20 years ago, and took a little hiatus because of job transition, so I was busy with that. But after about 10 years, I met some people, started playing out again, and then got a little steady, and to the point where I found a network of musicians. And basically, here I am. That's pretty much it. That's it in a nutshell. That's me in a nutshell.
Sure.
Sorry,
Sure.
sorry, I robbed that off Austin Powers.
And I see those axes behind you, that Strat and that Les Paul with the P90s in it. You got a preference for one or the other, or are they just tools and you use the best one for the job?
You're very observant. You know something? What's not up there is the Telecaster, which I wind up gravitating to most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know why. When I started playing, and all through my playing, most of it was kind of like I needed humbuckers or a Gibson sound or a Fat sound, and then the Strat was a little too thin, and then the Telly was like completely out of the question. And now I think it's the birth of rock and roll, and I didn't coin that phrase, somebody else did.
Sure.
When you listen to early Zeppelin albums, that was all Telecaster. So it's not up there. I got one right here, actually. This little lady is very nice. She's my girl.
It looks like she's very well loved.
Yes. Yeah.
What is this show and tell now, John?
Beg your pardon?
Is this show and tell now?
No. I wanted to include the Telly in there. There was only a Paul and a Strat up there. So, and don't think for a second that I didn't stand here a couple of hours ago and say, what guitar should I hang on the wall?
That's the kind of
Because
thing I
I did.
sleep over.
Yeah. But you're observant about the P90s and stuff like that. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool.
And by the way, thank you for having me and let me join in on this. It's a tremendous experience.
Absolutely. And
He's
Karen,
John, he's very observant, because when Karen and I did the first interview with him back last winter, he picked up on my P bass that I always use, and it's customized with the Mazzios and humbuckers. Yes, yeah, and that's on the cover of the album. But Rob picked it right up when he says to me, he goes, "Wait a minute, what's going on with that pickup arrangement you got going on?"
I remember I listened in on that. Yep, I listened in on that, and
oh yeah, you're not putting anything by him. It's not.
That's good. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
How about my Santa Claus mug? Don't forget that.
Coffee and little Baileys, is that?
Well, you know what? This is over 20 years old, and I use it every morning because every day is kind of like Christmas.
Aww.
So it really is. Despite whether I believe it at the time or not, at least it helps me remind me that just stay right here. Every day is.
Oh.
There you go, John.
Oh, wait! I got a violin too. Hang on.
well, Karen, welcome to you too, and it's good to see you here. And great vocals. I tell you, on both tracks, we're going to debut both of them here, but boy, I love what you did.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having us again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you know, I've been with, I've known Tim for over 20 years, and we
Sure.
started out way back then, getting together when he first opened up his studio, just to refresh. And yeah, then I took a hiatus for a little bit, and just a few years ago, Tim came back and asked if I wanted to do a couple things for him, a couple projects, small projects, and look where we are now.
Sure.
So I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And I'm very grateful to be playing with these very seasoned musicians. They're fantastic. So
Yeah, they are.
it's
They
great.
are.
It
Well,
sure makes it easier.
yeah. Well, we got to get into these tracks here. Traveling Heart dropped today, and it's available. You can stream it. You can buy it. So again, it's a straight up rocker. We've got Karen on lead vocal. We've got John on lead guitar. And who are the other musicians, Tim, on this track?
Well, obviously, I'm the bass player. That's what I do.
Mhm.
And we have a studio drummer who's also owns his own recording studio in New Hampshire, Mojo Studios. His name is Anthony Simino, and he's a very, very close friend of mine, and a very well-known and respected musician, along with his father, Joe Simino, who started Mojo Studios over in Franconia, New Hampshire, which is the oldest recording studio in New Hampshire. And so certain songs, require a live band. I mean, drum tracks are nice, drum machines are nice, keyboards are nice, and so on and so forth. But this particular song, Traveling Heart, it just required musicians playing in the same room.
Right.
And recording it that way. We did take all the overdubs, which are very few, over here to Riverside, to record those and bring them back, and the final mix get done at Mojo Studios, along with no introduction too. So, but Traveling Heart was recorded that way, live in the studio. We were in the studio together.
All right. Are both songs, are these part of a bigger project?
I'm gonna have to take a vote on that one.
I mean, are we going to be looking forward to an EP or an album, or?
I don't know. I think we got what right now, brand new. We got plenty of songs. I mean, but
Sure.
Brand new, there's probably 5.
Okay.
And 1 or 2 in the pipeline too at the same time. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We've discussed it. What do we want to just keep releasing singles? Do we want to do an EP? That type of thing. Planning videos, no question about it. So at this stage of the game, that's all I can give you for an answer.
Sure. Now let's kind of get into the writing of this thing.
But I will say this, Rob.
Yeah.
The Timothy Paul Band is no shot of followers. I mean, I get the demographics from the website.
Yeah.
Of the listeners. We're averaging 250 streams a day from Singapore and other areas of the world and the country. One of the songs, Sidewalks, 11,000 streams in a week on TikTok.
Wow.
So it's not to to interrupt your questioning and whatever, but a lot of it's because of people like you and Al Lockwood that have bought into the Timothy Paul Band. You're kind enough to have us on your shows. You don't have to. I mean, there's plenty of musicians, there's plenty of artists, and it's done a lot, especially with Outhouse Radio. Now with Scuba's Place, now Into the Music.
Yeah,
we're just grateful that you guys are in 91.1 out in Wisconsin too at the same time. So.
Yep, the Avenue has been a great supporter of artists like you, and yep, absolutely.
Very much so. Very much so. And we thank you for that.
Absolutely. You're welcome. And now let's get into the writing of Traveling Heart. Now, obviously, you are one of the composers. Did you collaborate with anyone on this?
Yeah, Karen. This song was written 25 years ago, and I think we were over Rich LeBonville's trailer, I think, and the band was just forming. It was a jam.
Yeah.
And Karen was there, and it sounded like a pretty good jam. I mean, that type of thing. And then more like an AM type of thing. And I asked Karen, I says, hey, Karen, I says, think you can come up with some lyrics for this? And she recorded it on her phone. And next thing you know, we come back and there you go. Yeah, and you got, and you have the first version of Traveling Heart. When she came back into the fold this past year, that was when we wanted her to sing No Introduction. She had requested that we do another version of Traveling Heart.
Okay.
She did, right there. Her, see?
And here it is.
And here it is.
It's seeing the light of day today.
Yes.
Well, I think we need to go ahead and play this track. So, folks, dig this. This is a wonderful song.
Well, you can turn it up if you'd like.
To reach my journey's end, through it all, I took my falls and got back up again. Seem to always wear my heart out on my chest for the world to tear apart. I don't want to wear my heart out on my chest. So can you tame my troubling heart? It's another day, I will make my way. Another complicated road. Rain or shine, you will be mine. Lighten up my heavy load. Seem to always wear my heart out on my chest for the world to tear apart. I don't want to wear my heart out on my chest. So can you tame my traveling heart? It was I who cried, my heart had dried. Its thirst for you had grown. Finally, you gave to me the love I'd never known. Seem to always wear my heart out on my chest for the world to tear apart. I don't want to wear my heart out traveling home. Can you take this home?
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
You know what? You know what I think I dig about that lead vocal is that you're not trying to cater to any specific sound. You're just yourself. You're being honest in your delivery, and I love that. There's way too many. I think when you listen to commercialized stuff, you tend to run into trends, and everybody wants to sound like everybody else. And A&R departments are probably the the culprits, but I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, really.
But I will.
Honestly, Karen, I just love that you're delivering that with such honesty.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
She's one beautiful soul. Let me tell you, she's so easy to work with. It really is.
yeah.
And so creative, just like Johnny. I mean, if you listen to the original version written 25 years ago and listen to this one here, it's the combination of both those things that come together and add, their own artistic feel to it. And that, you may mention that in your comment, Rob. And of course, I'm always the one that's, out there, shooting his mouth off. But this is the thing that we're missing in music nowadays. And I hear it from everybody when they listen to the music for the first time. The first thing out of their mouth is nobody's writing music like that anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But there's so many other artists that are out there that get thrown into the back of the bus, are pushed there. Don't tell me payola isn't still happening. We know it is. And independent artists just never really get the chance to get out there unless they've got the means and they've got the money to push past, all the others,
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that, I'm, any, Bill Gates or Donald Trump for that matter. Okay. It's not, but, at least I have the resources to push it farther than most independent artists are concerned. And that, to me, that's troubling.
Mm-hmm.
That's troubling because there's a lot of artists out there. And I did a bunch of numbers because that's what I'm all about is numbers. And the amount of money that the artists themselves get for streams,
Mm-hmm.
0.0003 to 0.0005 cents
Yep.
per stream. But
It's
look at the amount of revenue that these distributors and these social media companies generate to when you've got 2 million people that are on Spotify or 2 million that are on iTunes or whatever have you, and TuneCore and so on and so forth. So it's just, I think it's backwards.
This is where I really appreciate a site like Bandcamp because, the artists can sell their music there and they get the lion's share of, they get it. And a beautiful thing that I love about Bandcamp is that they have their occasional Fridays where whatever you buy, everything goes to the band, goes to the artist. And folks, I can't tell you enough. Please support Bandcamp. Support, when you buy this song, and please buy it. I'm telling you, buy it and then stream the heck out of it. I mean, because these folks deserve what they get in terms of finances, in terms of praise, and they put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into what they do. This doesn't just happen. So please, buy their stuff and stream it. But the song itself now can be purchased at TimothyPaulSR.com, correct?
That's right. And the biggest reason, I'm a businessman. My brain goes in all those directions. But it's the biggest reason why I established that site and everybody can go to that site is because you're absolutely right, Rob. The artists out of those streams that they get if they're on iTunes or Spotify or whatever the platform happens to be, you only get a portion of those. You're paying a commission. And not only a commission, you're also paying, some of them are paying a yearly fee to like TuneCore, to be on TuneCore, to get that music out there. So if you make $50 on streams, you're paying $64 for TuneCore per year. So that's gone. But
Right.
if you go directly to TimothyPaulSR.com, every nickel goes right to us.
Yep.
There's no middle.
Yep. And you deserve it.
It's ours. We own it. And that's just the way I am.
Yep. Yep.
So-
And I think that's a great way to build a relationship with your audience too, because there's that direct communication.
If you email me, you get an answer from me.
I can attest to this.
You do. Yeah. It may not be today, but I just have this thing about if you get a phone call and a
Mhm.
voicemail, you're obligated to return it, regardless of whether the answer you're gonna like it or not. Still need to answer to return that call. And
Yep.
but just to finish up on that, an old friend of mine that owns WATD FM down in Marshfield, Massachusetts, is one of the last independently owned stations, and it's a big station down there. It's pretty big for Marshfield, the South Shore of Massachusetts, and his name is Ed Perry, and his father's built the station. Ed took it over, and so on and so forth. And when he was one of the very first radio stations that had any clout at all to play our music back between 2005 and 2010, when it really wasn't that great, not like it is now. And when in the meeting, he came right out and told us, he said, to be honest with you, I get a lot of people, I get a lot of CDs, I get a lot of artists come in and wanting their music played, and I have to tell them that, it's not good enough. He said, that's not the case here. He said, but the bottom line is, how did he put it? He said, people don't listen to the radio for the advertisements. They listen to it for the music.
Yeah.
That's and when it comes to getting reimbursed for what we have to invest into it, it's backwards. It's backwards. But we love what we do, and and we're going to keep on doing it as long as we can. That's all.
Well, since we're kind of in this vein here, you do have some other merch here that you were displaying proudly when we.
Oh, he wants to work. He wants to work for me now.
So
look at that. Here's the Soul Again album. Isn't it beautiful?
It is a good album, folks. That's another one you need to pick up.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And this is the picture that Rob picked up on my bass and said, "What the hell's up with those pickups?" And then we just got them in, and they're on the website, TimothyPaulSR.com. Here's a brand new T-shirts we just got in. You see, and then that beautiful logo there on the pocket of the shirt, and then on the back you got the big city scene, the Timothy Paul Band. Okay,
there it is.
That's not a bad moon rising either. So go to the website, because merchandise sales goes to everybody too. So that's how we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to No Introduction. This one is more of a ballad. And now, again, Tim, you indicated that this is a heavily guarded secret as far as when it's going to drop. But it'll be before the end of the year, will it?
Well, I got a funny feeling in a couple minutes it's going to drop.
Well, it's going to be played, but I don't know that it's actually going to be available. But
this is it started out as like a country, folk country song. You remember Will Sintrom has worked with us, and he wrote the lyrics to this, and he wrote it in the vein of wanting to be more like a southern rock, country rock type thing. Yeah. And we did record a version of that. That's closely guarded. You'll never hear that. And then Johnny came into the picture, and then Karen came into the picture. And of course, when I got back in touch with Karen, I believe you were in Quebec, right, Karen?
Yeah.
Right? Through the text message.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was out there for business. Yeah.
Yeah. So what the text message she sent me back is a line in this song.
Okay.
So but that when she decided, said, yeah, she's coming back. This song I thought was perfect for her.
Yeah.
And John's guitar on it is just so, I mean, between the voice and John's guitar, it is just so much to listen to, but it's so simple at the same time. It really is. Yeah. It's great tune.
When I listened to this for the first time, when you sent it to me, my initial reaction was this tends to have more of a Blue-Eyed Soul thing going in it, closer to that Hall & Oates vibe that you liked, Tim. And but then there was also this thing that really kind of reminded me, it went back to like music from Big Pink from the band, that there's vibes of that. I mean, just little bits. The song I think that I kind of pick out from that album is I Shall Be Released, and I hear just a little bit of that in there. I'm like, well, that's cool. How did you come up with that?
That's John.
I rob everything. I steal every riff. There's nothing original in it. You know something? While we're on the subject, I did those tracks. I mean, Tim and I transferred tracks via our machines to get, to hone in on a particular idea, and then I would go up to Riverside, and then we'd have a session, and the thing about being in the room with people, besides machines talking back and forth to each other, they're hearing things also. So there was a lot of, for lack of a better word, a lot of coaching going on. Somebody saying like, no, don't put that line there. Leave that part blank. Put the line after the second line of the verse, and then leave the third line open. That kind of stuff. There was a lot of that went on in the session. So as far as, I'm glad they liked the guitar work and everything like that, but it really was a collaboration, even though it was my mechanics, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
All right, so I want to get a gold star for humility on this one.
Karen, what were your thoughts when Tim was just like, this would be a great song for you?
I really didn't expect that I would be the one singing it. I thought Tim was going to sing, and I was just going to do some, harmonies, vocals, and little small stuff. But he said, "Take it,
make it your own.
Take it." And so I tweaked it a little bit. But what I saw about this song was that it related to me, but in a way, and I think that it can relate to a lot of people. So for the people listening to the song, I'm sure that they're bringing themselves into a different feel, like it's like an experience. So I think that's where, it just kind of, it grabbed me, and I had told Tim this before. I said, I mean, it's a great song. And I feel like I could I saw myself in there, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah. And your vocal, again, your delivery, kind of, you play right into that. And it's both songs, Karen, I'm just blown away by what you did. It's just wonderful stuff.
Thank you, Rob. I feel, most people can relate to this kind of thing. And everything I put into it is about the feel at the time. And Tim knows this. And Tim has mentioned this to me before. He says, I have it, and I never realized it, but he said, you have a chirp. There's a chirp in there. And I'm like, what chirp? And then now I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think it's time we debut this track. It's called No Introduction. It's the Timothy Paul Band. And here we go.
All I wanted was a loving All you needed was a friend. Sorrows need no introductions to heartaches around the bend. Wish you could have told me sooner. What took you so long to ask? We can't live in fear of tomorrow, and we can't live life in the past. Seems we need more than just a lover. Seems we need more than just a friend. While mistakes sometimes can't be mended, make sure they never happen again. A lover can't cure a heartache. It takes time to be a friend. Feelings need no introductions to what we may not understand. Seems we need more than just a lover. Seems we need more than just a friend. While mistakes sometimes can't be mended, make sure they never happen again. Oh, not again. Seems we have more than just a lover. Seems we have more than just a friend. Yeah. Our love needs no introductions. Today, tomorrow, to the end. 'Cause we have more than just a lover. Seems we have more than just a friend. Our love needs no introductions. Today, tomorrow, to the
Wonderful.
Yay.
Great tune. I love the way that this song is constructed and recorded. I love the build. It just builds all the way throughout, and then you just ended on that nice little note, just that thing just enough. That was great.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
That's a great tune. Did you hear the chirp in her voice? Did you hear the chirp?
Yes.
I'm serious.
Oh,
When
there's
she-
always
when she-
going to be a chirp.
When she finishes the line, you hear this little chirp that she pops out of her throat, and it's like, where
Snatch.
the hell is? But it just that's the real feel. That's coming from here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't fake that. There's no digital equipment that can fake that, and you can't fake that. I think it's awesome. I really do. It's what distinguishes her from every other singer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
What do I know?
well, folks, it's about time to wrap up here, but you got some great stuff going, and I think what we just listened to, both songs, really kind of, for me anyway, it just underlines how good, how honest, how, what do I want to say, where the good music is coming from, because it's coming from real people. It's not being chucked out by AI. It's not being, something where I'm sitting down on my computer and manufacturing something. It's stuff that comes from the heart, from the soul. Like you said, Tim, you can't fake that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't fake this.
Yep.
Nope.
And if this is any indication of what the music scene, the local scene in New Hampshire is turning out in terms of original music, man, you guys got a great scene there. And I will sit and talk about how great the scene is here in Northeast Wisconsin, but boy, I'm hearing some great stuff coming from your area too.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Going as we sign out today, is there anything else that you folks want to mention before we close this live stream out?
I had a quick question.
Sure.
Does my butt look fat in these headphones? Sorry, Rob.
Well, no, we.
Oh,
John,
Hey,
it looks
Tim.
perfect.
Tim can attest. I must be nervous because I get silly when I'm nervous. So no, Rob, I would like to say
You should hear
and
some
I'm
of the
sure-
phone calls that we have.
No, he shouldn't. Rob, seriously though, thank you so much for this opportunity. I had a ball.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to have had all you folks on. And just before I forget that this live stream will remain up on Facebook for a while, but I will also be transferring it over to the Into the Music YouTube page. So it will live on in perpetuity there. So everybody can, I will provide a link for that later on my Facebook pages. Aside from that, people can find you at TimothyPaulSR.com. They can currently purchase Traveling Heart there. They can get the t-shirt there. They can get Soul Again there. And a number of
Get
your
a beer
other...
mug, you can get a beer mug there. Yeah. And you can get an autographed free picture of Timothy Paul Into the Music picture. It's on the website, TimothyPaulSR.com, TimothyPaulSR.com. Just go there, and we get it. We get everything that you give us, and whatever you purchase, we get 100% of it, and we don't have to share it with some guy in Taiwan or wherever they happen to be.
Yep. And Tim, I also want to just give a shout out of thanks to you for your support of Into the Music and, keeping that on Outhouse Radio. And boy, it means the world to me. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. And I'm a local guy. The years I was in politics, I always had a motto because I was an elected official. I don't look like one, but I was. It was all politics are local.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all politics are local, and so isn't music. This is the heart and soul of it all, right here. Okay, not the fancy Taylor Swifts and all the big money they put behind it, and all the glam and glitter that is just prefabricated. This is real. This is real.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are real. These are real people doing the real work. And boy, I tell you what, I am blessed to have these people in my life at this point. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you,
Yep.
Tim.
Likewise, Tim. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, coming up on Into the Music this month, coming Wednesday, I need to bring up my schedule here because my computer keeps dying on me. So coming up on Into the Music, and we're going to get a real sampling this month of local music from around the country, because Wednesday we've got music out of Rockford, Illinois. We've got Miles Nielsen coming up. If you don't know who Miles Nielsen is, Miles is the son of Cheap Trick's Rick Nielsen. And Miles has been at this for quite a while, working with artists like Corey Chisel, and he is putting out some of the best indie music around. No kidding. And so we're going to have Miles here on Wednesday. Next week, we've got Kathy Mansell from the central part of Wisconsin, and she just put out an album last year that won two of the songs won Whammy Awards from that album. Tremendous vocalist. She's working on a new album right now. Anthony Nix, country singer from, let's see, the Sheboygan area in Wisconsin, but he spends part of his time in Nashville, and he is cranking out some wonderful stuff. And then we've got Keela Sacco coming up she's a vocalist. She's originally from Hawaii, but she makes San Diego her home now. And she is putting out some stuff that is knocking my socks off. She's got some modern rhythms and sounds, but yet she is such a throwback because of the way that her parents, the stuff that they would play around her and the radio stations that they used to listen to. And she did some vocal work with the Tourmaliners earlier this year. They released a double A-side single, and they did covers of a couple of songs that you would never guess that somebody like Keela would do, but she knows those songs intimately. And so I'm looking forward to having her on the show. So
beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Keep up your good work, Rob.
I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you so much. And
we do too.
All you folks, thank you for being here today. For those of you that are watching, whether you're watching live or you watch later, go to intothemusicpodcast.com. You can hear all of the shows there. You can get all the info that you need about the podcast. You can support the show there. So I appreciate you all. Everybody have a great afternoon, and God bless.
Thank you.
You as well. Godspeed.
Yes, you too.
All right.
TimothyPaulSR.com. TimothyPaulSR.com.
You got it. You got it. All right, everybody. Take care.
Bye now.